Hello everyone, welcome back to another video by Eclipse on my YouTube channel. As you already probably noticed, there won't be any ads anymore on my YouTube channel. So I'm gonna switch off the ads, and if you like what I do and you would like to support this channel, you can find the link in the cards, or you can click on the link below where you can support this channel with €5 every month. So for this week, I decided to show you how can we create some interesting sequences with using zaps. So zaps are in a Psytrance music for a long time, and I remember a lot of tracks from Full On in 2002 and 2003 had already been full with this kind of sequences with the zaps. So I'm gonna show you how you can create them and how we can create something as this. So this is a sequence with the zaps, and I'm gonna go through all of these settings. Basically, I'm just gonna initialize the preset, and where I'm gonna start building it from a scratch. So basically, first thing in a serum, what I do is to set this attack at 0, random on 0, and the zaps are something that usually use always a kind of a pitch. So we're gonna modulate with the LFO the pitch of an oscillator A. So just connecting the LFO1 to the cause pitch. Basically, I'm not gonna do it like this. I'm gonna use LFO1 for a level, for a gating effect. So set the level of the oscillator A to the 0, set up the level to the maximum, and we're gonna set the rate on 1/16. So this is it. And after that, I'm gonna turn on the filter. We're gonna set to band 12. And drive, I know from my experience that around middle is gonna sound the best. Now I'm gonna turn on the oscillator B, random on 0 as well, and again the level of the oscillator at 0, and setting up the LFO2. Just this one we're gonna put on 1 octave up. And the zaps, I always use them with only one voice, which means that unison will be always at 1. And I never found zaps to sound good when I do them in stereo. This is my personal taste, but you can try, and you can, if you like, you can do it. And also this preset will be available for a download on my blog page. So basically, when I create the zaps, I always make them to be one voice only. So that is it. The second LFO, we're gonna make the same shape, and then I'm gonna connect LFO2 to the course, set it to 1/16 as well, and for the second one as well, and just turn on the oscillator B to go on the filter as well. Now the LFO1, I'm gonna create one more dot, and I'm just gonna make it to kind of a better envelope. And also I will make another one and just make it to end just before. So I just want to have in between of those punches to go straight on a 0. So basically it's like we are shorting up the notes. But you can play around with those settings and find what sounds the more interesting for you. Alright, now the next step, I want to modulate the filter to go on SNH, and in Serum we do that by going in global, and then we have this chaos over here. This chaos is basically the random LFO. All these LFOs here, they will need to have some kind of shape and the value, and we can now modulate them to make them a little bit close to the random, but basically the chaos LFO is the best way to create a random values on any parameters you want to modulate. So basically I just need to turn on the SNH, BPM sync, and I always press mono. So just set it to 1/16, and then we need to connect this chaos only from the matrix. So basically I'm just gonna choose Chaos 1, and for a destination I'm gonna choose the filter cutoff. And I want it to go in both sides, and then just... Another thing I forgot to mention is that on both of these LFOs we need to set trigger. Which means every time you press the note, it will start from the beginning. If the trigger is not on, actually if it's on off, then it can start even from here. So basically just trigger, that means when we press the note, it will start modulate from this position from the start. So this is the first parameter I wanted to set. The next one is I want to apply a little bit of low cut over here. And another thing I want to do, I want to connect Chaos 1 also to the FXs and EQ frequency L. Also, I want to go in both directions. So if we go here, also I just want to apply a little bit of high cut as well. Just to get rid of the highest ones. Then we can go back here, and then you can set up the drive on the filter at the level where you think it sounds the best. And now the most important thing and the easiest thing how you can modulate this to sound a bit more interesting is that I want to connect this rate of LFO 2 and LFO 1 to the one of the modes. So I'm gonna use this one over here, and I'm gonna set it to the rate of the second LFO, and also I'm gonna connect it to the rate of the first LFO. And then for matrix, where is this micro one, I'm gonna set it to go in both directions, and then I'm just gonna set it here for value of 5 just by double clicking on that one. So what I'm doing with this, basically I just want to change the rate of both of those LFOs, and I want to do that with one knob only. So basically when I press it, I think we need a little bit bigger value over here. And also turn on this trip over here, and also trip, so we can modulate it so it's gonna pass through the triplet as well. So basically, and now I think we need to pull it back to the 5. It's a little bit tricky to find exact values. So when you put this micro on, so it goes only to 1/8. Maybe this inch I'm gonna turn off just to see how it sounds. So this is something I wanted to do, also to be able, and then from the effects I can turn on the distortion, I can choose the downsample, a little bit of bit crusher on top of it. Or you can use, or you can find some other algorithm that works for you, but I like always to put on the zaps just a little bit of bit crusher. And now if we check, we can see, because we are using one voice only, we have the mono signal on those zaps. And what I advise, instead of using two voices, they sound a little bit, I want them to be only one voice and clear. Even if I pull down the detune, they are stereo, but basically I like much more how they sound with only one voice. And this is the reason why I'm using in two oscillators with the two different octaves. Maybe we can move this one. All right, and after this, I just wanted to put this hyperdimension, this mix over here, unison, not that much basically. This is something that brought the stereo information. It's a kind of a reverb. So with this, you can get a little bit of side information, and of course the delay. When you turn on the delay over here, I like to use it like this, to put on 1/8 dot and 1/8 dot on the both sides, and just a little bit, not that much of the feedback, and mix just around, let's say, 25%. And now the most important thing about processing this kind of sequences is because every time you have the cutoff on chaos, that means that with the resonance up, that peaks will gonna move. As cutoff is moving, it's gonna create the peaks on the different areas, which is okay for the range above 1K, but when it comes to the below 1K, I always want to have, because this kind of low mids information can really make us problem later on in the mixing section. So basically I always have this kind of multiband. Any kind of multiband will do, and as I do not want to compress the whole channel, I like those peaks when they move in this area. Basically you can put it in this area, can sound a bit harsh around 5K. So usually when I create zaps and all the things that are on SNH, I always have the one band compressing the low mids, everything below 1K. Basically the area of 200 till 500 is the most difficult one. This is why I have this dot always around 330. And the second one is around 5K. This area also can be harsh. If you put the cutoff to go more above, then this area also can provide different thing. And why is that? Because when we don't have that much information in this, basically when cutoff is playing around in this area, you won't hear the sequence that much, but then when it's moved, it's going to be too loud. So this is why I want to compress this area to keep everything on a similar level in this area over here, and then by a fader you can mix it later on much more precise. I just believe I need to set this one a little bit better, because LFO 1 is not set on the same level as this one. Basically it is, just to see, maybe we're gonna turn off the triplet to see how it will sound. But then we need to put this around 10, I believe. So basically and I already created this preset over here, and we're gonna use this one, and this one is gonna be available for a download for you. And this one sounds all the way with the template that I'm working on. So that will be it for this week. I hope that you like it, and the more subscribers I get, the more videos I'm gonna create. And I wanted to create this video because the last two videos I spent in talking a little bit much more about the artist development and about how complicated it can be for an artist to succeed on their path. But anyway, I want to create this kind of videos as well. So I might be doing a little bit shorter videos, but I'm gonna do them much more from now on. So thank you very much for watching, and if you like my videos, don't forget to subscribe and support the channel if you like it. See ya soon. Bye. Ciao.